Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. So, recently in Georgia, there were four inmates that has escaped like a work detail. Not only did they escape the work detail, they were able to get away, and they're still free on the streets as we speak. So, before we get into this video, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, and that's private internet access. Protect your online privacy with private internet access. In today's digital age, online privacy has become a growing concern for internet users. With the increasing number of cyber threats, government surveillance, and data breaches, it is essential to protect your online privacy. Private Internet Access, PIA, is a VPN service that provides a secure and private internet connection. So make sure that you get your private VPN today. But we want to talk about, let's go here. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the updates. Now, we won't play this whole video, but we definitely want to talk about some of the updates of what actually happened. And you give your opinion after you listen to how they escaped. And then we're going to talk about how they found the car that they used for the escape. And they have a huge award looking for these gentlemen. But let's go.
Inmates that are out at large at this time. Those inmates are 52-year-old Joey Fournier, white male, gray hair, blue eyes, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and weighs 140 pounds. He's being held into Bibb County Jail for murder. Second inmate is 24-year-old Mark Kerry Anderson, black male with dreads, 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs 165 pounds. He was being held for aggravated assault. Third inmate is 37-year-old Jonathan Darnell Barnwell. Jonathan Barnwell, black male, 5 feet 9, weighing about 190 pounds. He was being held for the U.S. Marshals for U.S. Marshals for drug charges. The fourth inmate is 29-year-old Chavis Demario Stokes, black male, black hair, 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 160 pounds. He was being held for possession of a firearm by a felon, as well as drug trafficking. We're right now investigating this, trying to piece together what all happened to cause this escape to take place last night. We do know that around 6 o'clock this morning that a break in the fence was found in the perimeter of the LEC jail facility. At that time, they started going backwards to figure out what happened. They started viewing video footage and discovered that right around 3:30 this morning, these inmates were able to leave out from a day room window on a second floor day room area of the jail. They were able to get out, go through that window, and run out through a break in the fence. There was some video footage of a vehicle that had been there earlier in the evening that looked like they had been tampering with the fence, as well as bringing some items into the enclosed area of the fence that we believe were used by these inmates to escape. That is why we have a lookout now for this blue Dodge Challenger. We have that vehicle. We really have very good reason to believe that that vehicle is involved in this situation. One thing I want to make clear: whenever we put this out earlier, we let everybody know. I think we got word out to the school system just as a protocol to let them know that we had an escape, but there's been no indication whatsoever that any school or that any of these inmates or any of these escapees have been anywhere around any of our schools in our area. Right now, we are following up on some leads as to where these individuals may be, and going forward. We have our partners in the FBI, ATF, state partners, This is an all hands on deck situation when something like this happens. So we certainly want people to call in. We have Crime Stoppers, 1-877-68-CRIME. There's been a $1,000 reward offered for information that will lead to the recapture of these individuals. We have also set up 2 hotlines here at the Sheriff's Office, and we'll be sending that out for more, but those 2 numbers are 478-310-4485, and the other number is 478-310-4052. Those 2 numbers, as well as certainly Crime Stoppers numbers, will be staffed 24/7 for anybody that has any type of tips or any kind of information leading to the recapture of each of these individuals. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
You know how they got into the day rooms during those hours?
That's what we're looking at. We have some of our situations where they can get into the day rooms. Sometimes the day rooms are not locked. Typically, when they are supposed to be in bed, sometimes the day rooms are not locked. Some of the doors are where they're not able to be locked, and then sometimes they're not. Typically, that's not an issue because the inmates are supposed to be at another part of the jail, but these inmates were able to get into the day room and work to open up this window. So all of that's being looked at. Go ahead, Greg.
I was supposed to ask if the white guy is possibly in Rome, Georgia, his brothers, where they last found him.
Well, they could be anywhere. Any tip, these individuals could be anywhere. We don't know if they're all together at this point. We don't have any reason to believe that they had any type of association with each other out on the street, but they certainly had some type of association with each other in the jail. So to take them to the point to where that they all wanted to escape together, but whether how long they stayed together or even if they're together at this point, we don't know.
Why was the public not notified before 11/20?
Well, we were looking at it. We had to backtrack to figure out when it was that this escape happened. If we had had an escape, when it happened. As soon as we knew internally that there was, our investigators were immediately notified, our SRT team, the jail and the Sheriff's Office leadership was notified, and so we were already following leads even at that early hour. And so it was to make sure that we had all the information to get out the right information. We had to do a census of the whole jail to make sure that we didn't have any others that were missing or any other places in the facility that might have been compromised. But make sure we know that as soon as we knew that there had been an escape, internally there were investigators, there were deputies on the street looking for them as soon as we knew.
Is there any staff disciplinary actions coming?
Okay, so let's talk about more of what happened.
You've got the look. Now,
Let's stop that. So let's talk about what's going on. As of today, authorities found getaway car used by 4 inmates who escaped Georgia jail after an offer of $73,000 award, right? Investigators have recovered the vehicle used to help 4 jealous inmates, including the murder suspect, escaped custody in Central Georgia last week, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office announced on Saturday. So these guys actually pull a real live prison break. They pull a real live prison break. A fantastic show, but this is real life. This is not a show. Criminal Intelligence Unit and Special Response Team with the Sheriff's Office found that the blue Dodge Challenger in the parking lot of a Biomat USA, a blood and plasma donate center in Macon, a city about 80 miles southeast of Atlanta, where the jail is located. So do you think, this is my question to you, Do you think that these guys made it to Atlanta? That's a legit question. You know, if you think they made it to Atlanta or not, I'm not sure. All right. Authorities find leads to locate the car, and Bibb County Sheriff David Davis said in a statement that he appreciated the tips and every lead that we have received and is being followed up on. All right. So did it damage the car at all? The car don't look like it's been damaged. And remember that it's a $73,000 award for these guys. All right. Earlier, the sheriff's office raised the rewards for information leading to the arrest of the escaped inmates. Rewards of $1,000 per arrest were offered initially. But on Wednesday, law enforcement said the combined reward stood at $73,000, with the sheriff offering rewards of up to $20,000 for the information leading to the inmates, captures, and additional compensation from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Macon Regional Crime Stoppers, and the U.S. Marshal Service. So one thing I want to point out, if you find these guys, don't call 911. That's not me saying don't get your money. If you want to be a tattletale, a snitch, or whatever you call, you got to call Crime Stoppers to get your money. If you call 911, you don't get the money. That's the loophole. That's the loophole. Be understanding of that. That's the loophole. If you call 911, they're not going to pay you. And I saw this on another video. That's how I understood this. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshal Service have each promised $5,000 to anyone who can provide tips, leading to a single arrest. Macon Regional Crime Stoppers is offering another $2,000 per arrest. So you can get up to $8,000 for Crime Stoppers. So, but to lead off your money, you got to call Crime Stoppers. But if you call 911, you don't get the money. That's the fine print. All right. Unless these guys can get out of the country, they're probably going to get caught. And they probably armed and dangerous at this point. So be very, very careful. Right. Meanwhile, the FBI has offered $10,000 for the capture of one of the escaped inmates, 37-year-old Jennifer Barnwell, who was convicted earlier in October on federal drug trafficking charges and is suspected to receive a significant prison sentence, the sheriff's office said. All right, the office previously said Barnwell was being detained for the U.S. Marshal Service. So these guys met up and it was like, man, I don't want to do this bid. I don't want to do this. And that's what happened. The FBI has also offered up to $5,000 for the arrest of the other three inmates who escaped. 52-year-old Joey Foreigner, who is charged with murder. 29-year-old Chavis Stokes, who was detained for possession of a firearm and drug trafficking. 25-year-old Mark K. Anderson, who was being held at the jail for aggravated assault. So these guys will hurt you. These guys will hurt you. So don't go out there being no vigilante, trying to confront anyone. Please don't do that because these guys would definitely hurt you. Yeah, don't be no tough guy and all of that stuff. The four inmates fled from the Bibb County Detention Center in the early morning hours of October 16 by climbing through a damaged window in the day room and subsequently slipped past a cut fence, Bibb County authorities said. A blue Dodge Challenger then drove up and proceeded to help all four of them escape at about 3 a.m. I hope these fools didn't bring their own car to do this. I'm hoping that they brought a stolen car. But if they this free for this long, that's definitely what they probably did. Anyone with information about the inmate's possible location has been asked to report what they know to the FBI's and U.S. Marshal Service's respective tip lines. 1-800-CALL-FBI and 1-877-1-2. People can also submit tips online through the FBI's website or the U.S. Marshals Service app. So be mindful on how you go about and do things because these guys are armed and dangerous. I'm just reporting the story. I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't ever want to be nowhere near these guys. So you do it at your own risk. But this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we'll be coming to you with more videos in the future. And once again, we will see you next time.